Hello, everyone. We are here today to talk about strategic revenue operations and how Salesforce's Revenue Cloud Advance not just supports it, but actually shapes this process and provides more insights to it. Before we do it, I'm really glad to see you all here. Well, I actually don't see you, but I appreciate you spending this Eastern, if you're in Eastern time, afternoon with us as we share our knowledge and expertise of what we've gathered so far working with RCA. I know our customers are joining, our partners from Salesforce, and some new faces. So, yeah, thank you for being here. If you have any questions and I don't know, issues with sound or something during the presentation, feel free to post in the chat. So yeah, our admin will control us during the presentation. And let me introduce us two who will be talking about RCA today. So I'll start introducing my colleague Yuri. I think it's becoming tradition, two of us talking about RCA. So Yuri is our CPQ and our RCA expert at Retech. Yuri is doing RCA CPQ and now RCA specifically this tool for more than 4 years already, and he's 13 times Salesforce certified with a variety of this and other products as well. And in his free time, when he's not implementing RCA and leading our other CPQ and RCA specialists at Retag, he loves to travel. And what actually is pretty exciting, he's doing a little bit of manufacturing and assembling and creating his own e-bikes. That's exciting.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria, for the presentation. And also, let's meet our great account executive, Maria Suryak. She's 9+ years in the business. She really, really loves marathons and running, everything regarding this. So if you run, you just need to connect with Maria and run together, and also Maria, you're dog lover. You love dogs, right?
I do.
And me
I'm
I,
dog
and
person.
I have a cat. I'm a cat lover, but also I love dogs, so kind of both.
That works. Okay. Sounds good. And both Yuri and I, we are RCA experts at Red Tech. So Yuri from the technical side, and I am from the business side of things. So my role is to actually define what tools and strategies works best for each unique business goals. Quickly, why we took the liberty today on ourselves to talk about RCA is not because we just know about this. We're actually working with us and implementing RCA since the beginning of this year, actually. So we have quite a lot of insights and hands-on expertise. Before that, we have a plenty of experience implementing CPQ for different types of businesses, different industries. CPQ is one of our specialties aside from other more complex Salesforce's product. What is important to highlight here, we're Salesforce's Summit partner. So what you actually have to do to become a Summit partner is that you have to meet a number of criteria, such as like type of projects, number of skills, certifications, customers you're working with, and being able to maintain this over the time and a high customer satisfaction rate. So this is not just we sit together here and talk about something we know. This is based on our knowledge and expertise. We put our hearts and souls into this, and really proud that we can share this with you today. By the way, we're based out of Chicago. If anyone who's joining us today is there, happy to meet there. I'm personally in Toronto. If anyone is from Canada here, feel free to ping me in on LinkedIn. Um, let's dive in. So briefly, our agenda for today. What we'll talk about strategic revenue operations. We'll talk how RCA supports this, how RCA provides to this. RCA is quite an extensive tool, and if we would talk about all of the aspects of it in strategic revenue operations, we would need much more time than 45 minutes. So we'll focus on two first items, such as product management and pricing strategies in RCA. And later, I'll let Yuri to show you a great demo and how we can easily, much easily than it was previously in CPQ, combine different pricing strategies and manage catalogs. And we'll show specifically subscription management from the point of in the demo. And after the summary, happy to answer any of your questions. And again, if you have any, feel free to paste them in the chat so we'll see them in the end of the session. RCA. So I would love to start saying that I assume many of us here today are familiar with CPQ. And why Salesforce developed RCA, it's not just one of the newer tools, it's actually a direct response to the market demands and what businesses need. And again, it's not just a tool and technology, it is a thing that supports the strategy. As you can see now, what previously was a part of CPQ is just for 3 steps of the whole Revenue Cloud, because Revenue Cloud is a complete revenue lifecycle management platform. So businesses are able to put everything on one platform, which is now on Core, and this gives flexibility, visibility into the full process, ability for different teams to interact, and many other benefits. But what I would say is the most important from the strategic revenue operations standpoint is that you have this 360 tool that covers and provides a comfort and confidence of interacting with you for your customers, because their needs evolve, and if you want to be able to efficiently compete with in current market, you have to be you have to be agile and to meet your customers' evolving needs. It provides your teams, your sales rep, operations, finance team, also with this advanced functionality to do their work faster, not meaning worse, like actually faster and better. And then for the future, it supports your current business goals. It provides you with assurance that in 5 years, RCA will still be there. It will be the tool that can scale and grow with your business. So, and this is just if we're talking about RCA out of the box alone. RCA combined with and put on the rails of like Data Cloud, or supplemented with Agentforce, basically, or connected with your other systems like QuickBooks, provides you with almost limitless capabilities and functionality to drive success for your business, to generate more revenue, and build a strategy, not just looking at some dashboard and making an assumptions. And if you're in revenue operations, and if you're either trying to enhance your current process or build a new one from scratch as business is changing and growing, or trying to get into the new markets, what I would highlight as the main benefits of RCA, what it brings to the table. First of all, this is a unified platform, which first of all helps you to simplify and automate a lot of the processes that were previously separated and siloed in different pieces. Even CPQ was managed package. Yes, it does. Yes, it did have and does have a lot of functionality that RCA currently have, but because it wasn't centralized and it wasn't on Core, some of the things that are really needed were lacking. So now with RCA, you have a unified platform where different teams, sales, finance, IT, they can ensure this alignment across different departments for the full visibility. So you can grow, you can you can ensure the margin, you can ensure the governance, and this, whether you have 10 employees or you have 100 or 1,000, RCA provides you with the confidence of doing that. One important piece that personally I see our customers love mostly about RCA, and again, we'll talk about this during the demo, we'll show this during the demo, is the flexible revenue models. So now with RCA, we can put different pricing models into one quote and one contract, and it's not going to be a headache. So it easily supports any pricing structure, and it then relates to billing, it relates to subscription management, usage based, out of the box, natively. With again growing needs of the customers and businesses trying to do a better forecasting, this is extremely important to be able to ensure this while again like having full confidence about this going right. Omnichannel sales, I would say this is the second favorite piece of our customers who are moving into RCA, because now, whatever quoting functionality you have with RCA, with the headless API, you can put it out there to basically any other channel, whether it's a partner portal for B2B sale, whether it's a website, whether it's an app. So the whole quoting thing that your sales rep have will be available for other audiences that you're selling to, for example, your partners. And yes, of course, everything that's created now has to be agent ready, and so RCA is. It is already. It has all the scenarios, and adding agent force and AI capabilities to it will be smooth and seamless, as it has to be on nowadays technology. And it does have a composable architecture. We'll talk briefly about this a bit later, but we think it's important to have a tool that, first of all, can scale and adapt as business grow, and also will be not hard to manage and maintain for the businesses later. They won't have to go to the developers every time to create some new bundle or pricing model. This is also one of the benefits of RCA. And for the product management for modern revenue operations. So nowadays business, they don't just need they can't just have a standard SKUs and catalog. So they like the customers will buy whatever you offer them. You as modern business, you need to have full control, at the same point flexibility and agility of what you offer to your customers. And with centralized product catalog, with and version control and dynamic bundling and no-con configuration, those I would highlight as four main attributes of product management in RCA. Allows you to build a strategic approach and have different departments such as sales, service, partners, digital channels, again, work together, work simultaneously, be flexible, but at the same time, ensure that it's all going in the right direction and systems are not siloed and data doesn't differ in different parts of the tools that you use. RCA includes it all in one place. The other important piece of the product management in RCA is dynamic bundling. We see this a lot with manufacturing companies, which is one of the top industries we work with. When you're creating a new product, usually that would be a bundle. Now with RCA, if something is changing, and let's say if 10 months ago, a lot of our customers, they have more kind of like a long-term deal cycle. So if the quote was created like 10 months ago and one piece of this bundle has changed. So first of all, yes, you do have version control and everything is aligned in different parts of RCA. But again, you can create this flexible and rule-based packages, bundles in RCA, which will ensure that what you're selling is actually correct, especially if it's connected to your ERP system to check the inventory. And it ensures the margin. So it's not that you're losing money or you're selling something that is not correct, like it's not the same at the some point of time. No code configuration. Yes, as I said, it is important to be able to manage and maintain the system by yourself. So RCA, the user interface of it, the no code and drag and drop areas of it, I'm not a technical person, right? And for me, when I go into the RCA, I clearly can much better understand and navigate through it than it was previously with CPQ, especially when you're trying to create some new product bundle. And I'm not even talking here about putting a quote together. Putting quote together is now simpler when the quote is more complex. That's why I love RCA and how it works for modern businesses. That now, before we move to the demo, is even more interesting part about pricing in RCA. It has so much to add, and some of these items are not new, but they are easier and more easily manageable than it previously was, and provides with a greater flexibility and utilization than it was. Rule-based and pricing, as we all know, is one of the most important levers in bringing the revenue to the business. So being able to do it and really 100% be sure that it's working as it should is extremely important, especially when you build new revenue models, revenue channels, and work with at new markets and so on. Rule-based pricing engine automates complex pricing logic across, again, like different product catalogs and channels as well. So these can be defined on a variety of different criteria, such as contract lengths. If the contract length is this, then the different logic should apply. Type of the customer, and basically any sort of customization that in your business specify some rules for the pricing can be applied automatically in RCA, which ensures eliminating space for mistakes. Volume and tier discounts are extremely important for cross-sell and upsell. And now in RCA, again, it's more automated and it can be applied based on more different criterias. So whether you're doing discounts based on the consumption or meeting some specific threshold, you can specify this in RCA, and whenever this moment comes and you meet this, the customer meets this criteria, the model, the discount and or other pricing will be applied. It does have flexible billing schedules, and especially it's important when your business works and operates based on the performance delivery or project based. It is important now for businesses to deliver the value first before invoicing the customers. So in RCA, you can combine monthly, milestone-based, usage-based, different billing based on the different pricing models, again, under the same contract. And Yuri will show you a little later in the demo how we combine that in our configuration. So I won't stop a lot here. Approval workflows extremely important and now are easier to even like to see, again, like based on the user interface in RCA. It ensures control and margin protection for the businesses whenever specific discount more than 20%, for example, was. Or again, like based on detailed criteria, type of the customer and so on, as you different teams, finance, sales, operations can all work together through in RCA, the approval workflows happen much faster, which means much faster time from quote to cash. And favorite pieces, which would be a great sequence for the demo, is hybrid model supported in RCA. As part of the one quote, as part of the one offering for your customers, you can combine under one product different strategies, different models based on what you're giving to your customers. So that can be one-time purchase, that can be a subscription, that can be free trial, usage-based, and usage metering and rating is also part of the RCA. They have out-of-the-box functionality too. kind of manage this, but also if it's more complex, let's say if your pricing varies based on the API calls consumed, um, putting the data into the data cloud and later into like the standard objects in the RCA, RCA would automatically detect this and apply pricing rules that are defined in the system to provide your customers with a smooth next steps. So to wrap this up, before I let Yuri show you the demo, I would say that the biggest strengths that RCA brings to the table is this flexibility and ability to mix different pricing models, different billing types, and so on. So this is extremely important to do it in a single order from the configuration standpoint. It saves time, as well as for the customers. It's much clearer and it's much they have much more confidence to proceed. And in the modern strategic revenue operations and go-to-market strategies, this has to be considered in the first place. And again, like we work a lot with manufacturing and software companies, so that's something that applies a lot to them, and we're really glad that RCA now supports this. Um, I will stop here. I know I spoke a lot. I hope that was helpful, but now let's actually see the visual. Yuri, over to you.
Thank you, Maria, for the great explanation. Yeah, let's take a look to some RCA in action. So let me start sharing my screen. I hope you can see it, right? All is good. So
I
let's imagine that we are, yeah,
I don't think now I can see it. Oh, okay, all good. Now I
all
hear it.
good. Okay, let me share again. Yeah, I believe now it's here. Yeah, okay, good, cool. Thanks. So let's imagine we're here now in RCA, in Revenue Lifecycle Management, and you can see an account. So let's imagine that we're, as a company, we're selling, let's say, smartwatches, and we have a customer who requested us to sell 20 watches for the company employees. And let's go ahead and first create our quote here for this customer. So let's give it a name, watch request. So let's select opportunity. I previously already created that. So we have now opportunity, and also we need to select our account and click on save. So here we go. We have our quote. We see here now quote line items and also something called transaction line editor. Basically, it's a place where we add in product, changing quantity, discounts, and yeah, building a quote. So let's go ahead and add some products to it. Let's select price book as its new quote. And we have two products. First of all, our red tech watch. So let's select this, right? And put the quantity as a 20 for this customer and add to the quote. But now also I'm as a sales rep, I want to do kind of upsell and sell our subscription plan, subscription plus, which includes app that they can use with smartwatch and get more from it. So let's also add this to our quote with the quantity 20, and let's click on save. So we have our quote with our products, and now what I want to do as a sales, I want to propose this kind of the deal. So let's say first 3 months will be free for you, and the rest 9 months of the year that you need to pay for this additional subscription. So meaning we allow user to use our product, get all this, perks of it, and then move to the pay part. So how we can do this in Salesforce, since Subscription Plus is our term-defined product, we click on that arrow and we click on ramp. Ramp deals called in Salesforce. Previously, it was in CPQ we had multidimensional quoting, and now in Revenue Cloud Advanced, it's called run deals. So what we are doing here, we put in a subscription term as 12 months, right? So, and we also want to include trial for 90 days. So let's go ahead and click on generate. So now we have two segments. First for trial for 90 days with a discount 100%, and the rest of the year is for the regular price. So let me add this and save the quote. And here we go. So now we, let's say, get approval from our manager. Everything is good. We can do this. We also accepted this quote. Customer accepted our quote and agreed to this. And we good to go and create an order. So once we create an order, that means that we actually won a deal and everything is good. And we need just to activate that order. But before that, we need to put an address, fill it. So basically, in most of the cases, customer automate this process and pull the value from account or opportunity. But let's now input this and mark status as completed. So now we have active order, meaning that we should see an asset. So Revenue Cloud Advanced, once we finish with our quote and we activate the order, it's create an asset, meaning that account has some assets, they already bought something, and as you see here, we have our Tech Watch and subscription plus. So great, we make a deal, everything is good, and let's assume 3 months later, we actually see that customer don't want to prolong a subscription and pay for that. So let's assume that we receive cancellation request. So I got a notification in the Salesforce saying, okay, user requested to cancel it. So what we can do here, obviously we can select an asset and click on cancel, and basically that would be it, right? But we don't want to go that approach. We want to sell something to a customer and find a better way or better deal to do so. So what we can do, let's go ahead and amend that subscription, and let's say we start in 3 months since it's already past the trial period, and let's click on submit. So what we see here, Revenue Cloud create for us a quote, and we have already that subscription plus here as a product. And let's see for the ramp, because you see that we have a notice here, this is only one line and we need to go to ramp to see the whole picture. So we have our trial, which we are amending, and we have year 1. So what I want to do here, I want actually to finish this and create a new one. So what I need to do, I need to put a quantity as a -1. So when we cancel this, Salesforce just automatically put quantity as negative. So we update our segments and click on save. And now let's say we propose to our customer, okay, so let me give you your subscription plus more discount, but you will buy it for 2 years instead of 1. So we add a new product and go again to Prim Deals and put a subscription term as a 24 and click on generate. So now we say, okay, for the first year, I'll provide you 30% discount. And for the second year, I'll give you 15% discount. Update our segments and click on save. So we did 2 things. First of all, we canceled that subscription that was previously signed with the customer, and we added a new product to this quote to have a new deal, better deal for our customer. So let's go ahead and create an order. We have an order here, and you see that RCA already providing us that quantity is reduced for that one. And what we need to do, we need to, again, put our address here and build contact. And now activate our order. But before that, let's take a look for our account. We have our assets. We have our total as a 753. And now we are canceling old one and putting a new deal. So here you go. And let's see what actually updated here. So now we have our new subscription plan, and it has a quantity as 20 and has a price. So what we did here, we actually easily amend our subscription plan to fit more to the customer needs, provided more discount, but sign the deal for 2 years instead of 1 year. So this is how we can manage our subscription. And also what we can do here, we can easily renew. So if we have some requests for renewal, we also just select our asset, renew, and go ahead with a new quote, sign a deal, and that's it. So let's also take a look to our asset. So this is how it named subscription plans. And obviously it has start date, end date, and if we renew, it will prolong our end date. And also Salesforce provides us with some dashboards where we can see monthly recurring revenue, quantity, and also track all these changes during this process. So in a nutshell, we have a great ability to create different segments for the year, provide a trial. And when we are working with the subscription products, we have this flexibility, and a lot of those processes can be automated. And as we already spoke about RCA, it's really heavily based on API. So integration with the external system is, I would say, not such complex as it previously was, right? So because everything on the API. And yeah, this is a case how we can manage our subscription plan. So thank you guys. Over to you, Maria.
Thank you, Yuri. Let me go back to the screen sharing. So that was a demo, and I think it represented the thing that I was speaking about before, the flexibility and unlocking new opportunities for additional sales, for upsell, cross-sell, for not losing the customers. It's all supported now within the technology. It's all guided. One of the also amazing pieces of RCA is guided selling. So basically, once the process is created in Revenue Cloud Advance, your sales reps won't have the ability to go side road. They will have a clear path about what has to be done, and with different like rule-based pricing and so on, with customization for each customer or customer type and so on. I personally love how RCA supports the evolving need of the customers in markets. If we're talking about key benefits, there's and those would be like standard, like saving time, reducing manual effort. But I honestly think, and what I see with the our current implementations, RCA is a game changer. So this is a strategic benefit for those who go into the technology first and building their revenue operation strategy with the RCA moving forward. For the revenue operations teams, yes, this is obviously data-driven decisions. And the thing that Yuri showed, this is just one of the pieces of brief data reports. The level of depth of revenue recognition that Revenue Cloud Advance shows is what helps and supports future decision-making processes. faster quote to cash, with faster operations, with better and more efficient operations, and yes, cross-functional alignments that again like saves time, reduce errors, and your teams just have the resources and tools to do their job better. For the business, it's margin control. It's easier to understand what and how is happening and how to control that, how to even fix errors when they're happening. It's ability to scale and grow and be confident about that in, again, like 5, 10 years. And it's new revenue model. So you can always, whatever approach you're thinking to take, whatever strategy you're thinking to build, it is achievable with RCA. And in the end of the day, your customers are happier, they stay with you longer, customer satisfaction rate grows, and which reflects in your revenue growth, better forecasting, and how your business overall feels on the modern market. So I think that's it on our side. That's all we wanted to share with you today in terms of how Revenue Cloud, product management, and pricing strategies from RCA can change, can enhance your revenue operations. We are happy to talk more, of course. If you could tell, I love RCA. I would love to talk about it more, and especially other aspects of it, like contract management is amazing as part of the RCA. Feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. Feel free to email us. And if we have any questions, of course, we can discuss it right now. I'm opening the chat. Okay. So I see we have 2 questions, and I hope I answered the previous question about Revenue Cloud billing. I posted it to the previous question that was like the initial question in the chat. So SaaS company, and can Agentforce in RCA support subscription management? If I understand your question correctly, I love question about how Agentforce interacts with different tools and RCA as well. So if I understand your question correctly, if you are wondering if Agentforce can like it has roles to support subscription management. Let's say if you ask him to prolong a subscription or identify what subscriptions are most likely to fall off and to suggest some upsell and so on. Yes, of course. So Revenue Cloud Advanced is built on core, and to answer your question, Agentforce can interact with everything that is on the platform. So whether it's a subscription management or contract management, or Agentforce can also do a redlining and other stuff just on top of my mind. Yes, it is available. I hope it answered your question. And I see the question, how can we link RCA to third-party e-sign tool like Adobe, control lifecycle management from contract generation, and then send it for using Adobe e-sign? Yes, it is possible. So for example, mostly I would say it would be like a DocuSign that I know, but I'm sure Yuri knows more because he's
Yeah.
right in that process. But basically, yes, control lifecycle management is happening within the platform, and later for a signature, it's being sent through a third-party tools. It depends on the tool. I believe Adobe has a connector, so it just again like it connects,
It
and
has.
for the e-sign process, it's just being sent out.
Yeah. To add to this, so basically you can use a Adobe Sign Managed package for Salesforce, or you can customly build the integration using REST API. So yeah, it's doesn't really matter which provider you use, like Adobe Sign, DocuSign, or Conga Sign. That doesn't matter. But if they provide a managed package for Salesforce, it's much easier to implement and customly build.
And I think I see the third question, wondering how Salesforce receive information the customer want to cancel or update their active subscription. Yuri, it's a
Yeah,
good.
I can dig into this. So yeah, in previous webinars, we also discussed another part of RCA. One was that part was regarding dynamic revenue orchestration and workflow fulfillment. So basically, when we move from a quote to order and we finish our deal in CPQ, it was kind of end of the deal, but obviously it's not an end. You need still to deliver some product or even access to the customer. And now Salesforce take care of this using Revenue Cloud, because now we have a full process for the order. So once it's activated and it's going through different stages that you can define. So it could be manual task, it could be API call from external system, meaning, so let's say we want to, we sell our watch, right? And then it needs to be shipped, right? So next status would be packed, next ship, then we receive information from, let's say, shipping operators that it's delivered. So we update in a Salesforce our status to delivered. And this is also the possibility how we can get that information if customer, for example, from app clicking on canceled, we receive that request in Salesforce, and we can have notification, automation, whatever is needed to process that request. Again, API based, right? So we can do that.
Thanks, Yuri. I think we are right at the time. And I don't think, yeah, I think we have answered all of the questions that were in the chat. But anyway, feel free to message us if you have any other later. Otherwise, it was great to share this knowledge with you today. We'll share the recording later, and have the great rest of your day.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.